Hello there, this is Daniele from ToolChefs, and in this video we're going to have a look at the new retargeting system available in Atoms 3.6. So the new retargeting system, to use that you need to characterize your agent types. A characterization consists of tagging the joint chains of a skeleton by type, subtype, position, and so on, and also posing the rig in a reference pose. So you don't need to pose your rig when you are actually exporting your agent type. But you need to do so when you are characterizing your agent. So you always have to start from the scene that you use for exporting the agent type files. But you have to make sure that the pose of the agent agent type that you're exporting for the characterization is similar to the pose that of the agent type that is going to be used as a source. So for instance, let's say I'm using a character which as a source with all the clips and so on, which was done in T-pose, and I also exported a characterization file for that character in T-pose. Then I start working on another character, and the start pose of this character, so the bind pose, is actually an A pose, so it's not T-pose, a T-pose. So in that case, you would have to select the joints that basically they're in a different position. So for instance, in this case, the shoulders, and then rotate them so that basically the character becomes like in a T-pose. The same thing applies with the joint of the fingers. For instance, if you have your original character as the fingers that are like close to each other, like not this one, you would have to rotate the fingers so that they are in a similar pose. You have to do all this work just because otherwise the retargeting won't produce very good results. So basically this new reference pose will be stored in your characterization file, and it will be used when the retargeting will be done later at simulation time. To create a characterization file, you have to open the rig and animation exporter, and we have this character tab here. For starting, you have to go and select the root of your rig, which is for me the root joint. Then basically, as you can see, we have already this tool has already created a new chain which is of type root. After this one, we can add like the spine. So I think it's spine that select plus, and the spine has been created with the type spine. The horizontal tag is set to center, as well as the vertical and the depth, and the index is 0. As you can see here, the sanity check has turned red, which means that there is an error, and here is saying that there is an invalid hierarchy. And as you can see here, basically the joints here, they are in a random order, so we have to reorder them, and they're actually in a random order because of the way I selected them. You have to make sure that the chain is actually in the right hierarchical order, otherwise of course the tool won't export the characterization, and you won't be able to use this file in your simulation. So that's the spine. Then we can actually select the clavicle, actually let's do the neck first. So it's a limb, it's a neck, horizontal, vertically stop, depth, center, and so on. So basically, as you can see here, we have different types. So the difference between this type is the following. So if you select the root and effector, only basically the animation is being transferred in taking in consideration the reference pose of the rig that you're exporting. Otherwise, if you use any other type, so spine, clavicle, pelvis, and limb, these basically, if you have more than 2 joints, so 3 and more or more, an IK algorithm is going to be used for retargeting the joints. Otherwise, if you have 1 or 2 joints, we're just going to use a simple, we're going to transfer again the rotations. So for the neck, in this case, it would be the same as using this as a limb, but it's also depending how you tagged your joints in your original rig. This is because during the simulation, Atoms tries to find the chains with the same names, and if you can't find them, basically it won't do anything. There's also a case where you have, for instance, one just like one right arm and one left arm in your original the source agent type, but in the destination agent type, for instance, you have two left arm and two right arms. So in that case, you would have limb, arm, this would be left, then top, center, and 0 for the arms. And then, so the first arm would have the index 0, and the second arm would have the index 1. Because the source agent type would have just one left arm, the second left arm wouldn't find any matching during the retargeting because the index would be 1 and there wouldn't be any chain with the same name. So basically, what Atoms will do is will just try to find we'll just apply the animation from the chain with the previous index. So that would be 0. So that case is also covered. So basically you keep going, you keep adding limbs. So let's also do the arm, the case of the arm. So the shoulder is a clavicle. Sorry, messed that up. So okay, one. Then this one is a clavicle. This is right. Vertical is top. Center is okay. So that, and then we can add the arm. So this is a limb, and this is right. This is an arm, and this is right, and so on. So as you can see here, I've added also the roll joins, but this is something that you don't want to do, is because this is basically the AKE in this case will be applied also to the roll joins, and this basically this will create unwanted results. So make sure that you don't have any roll joints in here, and just that these joints are actually being used for retargeting the animation. Basically, in this way, then you keep going. You tag all the chains that you have. So you would have the legs, you would have the feet, you would have also the finger. The fingers should be tagged as effectors. And then once you're done, basically you can export this characterization. Once you have a characterization done and exported, you can always re-import it. So this is what I'm gonna do here. And basically here, as you can see, we have already all the characterization done. And from here, then you can export it again and change it and then export it again. So then you can use it during your simulation. So let's do that. Okay, so once you're done with that, so I've created a new scene. I'm gonna go in the Atoms UI, and then I can start using those characterization files. So in the main, I'm going to assign the Atoms character file, and then I want to create a new agent type. So this would be, I've done the same process with a Mixamo character. So I'm gonna remove that one. And here you have to assign the same state machine. So as I said already, all the animation clips have to be the compatible agent type set. Basically what we want to do is we want to use the main animation clips which are being used by this state machine on this character, on this Mixamo character. So now I'm gonna create a new agent group. I'm gonna go in here, assign a new grid layout, and then I'm gonna assign the state machine that. Then in the grid layout, I'm going to, sorry, I have to create a new agent. I want two agents like that. So one is going to be the man and the other one is going to be the Mixamo character. Set them to skin like that. And so basically now if I press play, the Mixamo character is playing the same animation. Of course, the start frame is different, so you can see that the animation is, it's a bit offset, but it's still the same animation. And then from here, I can change the state. We can reduce the walk, or we can use the jog. run. And of course, you can do the same by using the animation clips that we provide with our own agent bundle. And this is all for this video. Thanks for watching.